Hello. The Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers just got embarrassed by the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Max and I loved every second of it, and I think most Thunder fans did too. Hello, my name is Nathan, and this is Thunder Up Talk, and today I've got my good friend Max. Max, what's up, man?
Nothing much, just enjoying the season so far. How are you doing?
Doing great. Yeah, and like I said, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they just dismantled uh, what I think the league thought were two pretty good teams, and I think they are, especially the Lakers. I think the Lakers are a little bit better than the Warriors, but they just made Golden State look old, and they just made the Lakers look like they can't compete with them. So I would like to ask you, I know you watched both of the games. What were some things that stood out to you? We might go game by game, so let's start with the Warriors game. Was there anything that stood out to you that you remember from that game?
Warriors game, I mean, it's really like the dominance of it. And that was, let's see, that was the game where Chet had his perfect game too, wasn't it?
It was the
Because
perfect game. Yes.
Chet the perfect game. Because Chet's really been looking even better, right? Like we had this championship level guy already, and now and through the whole championship run, I was thinking at least like, man, if only his offense was like a little bit more efficient, if he was just a little bit better around the rim or something. And like now he's doing that. And so that's
Hmm.
the big thing that stuck out in the Warriors game for the most part. And then just like how it was Steph's first game back after uh, few games off from illness, right?
Yep,
But
that's right. Hmm.
even with him being a little bit rusty, just how much we shut him down.
Yeah.
Like absolutely nothing. I got stats here. I'm ready for this one. How
Oh,
much
yeah,
did
let's
old
go.
Steph Curry had? He had 11 points on 4 for 13 shooting and only 1 for 5 from
Yes.
three.
Hmm.
So a minus 23. That's a great stat too. So
Yeah, for sure. And like I agree with you. Those are the two main stories for sure. Like Chet was, like I said, perfect. He was 9 for 9 from the field. And I think that's what every Thunder fan has been waiting for, like Chet's offensive game to kind of come up, and he can shoot the three, but he's really been kind of attacking that mid-range area, which I love seeing. Because I just think like that can kind of be a go-to move like tool for him because nobody can guard that. When you're 7'1", and you're kind of coming off a screen or something, getting to the middle of the floor right in that mid-range shot, nobody's going to be able to guard that. And he's
mhm.
got the touch. And then yeah, like you,
It's flashes of Kevin Durant, and it's the kind of
dude,
flashes that I like.
dude, a couple of
Especially,
those shots from the mid range is like that really looks like KD, and
yeah.
it's super exciting. Um, and yeah, and then Case and Wallace, man, like Dort's been out, Wiggins was out, and it's just like, yep, let's just slide Kaysen in there, guard the greatest three-point shooter of all time, and keep him to just making 4 field goals. And I think two of those were, from what I remember, were like kind of some back cuts he kind of beat Kaysen on. From the perimeter, he just did not have it. And, you know, on Twitter, all the Warriors fans were like, he's just coming off illness, blah, 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 blah. The following game, Steph went off for like 40 points. So I'm like, no, it's the Kaysen Wallace effect, and he's just an incredible perimeter defender.
Yeah. And I
Um,
mean, how many times have we had guys out and they come back and they tend to have like good games, right? Like you can come back and not just have a garbage game like this, right? So yeah, you got to
yeah,
give Case and Wallace and the Thunder defense some credit there for sure.
yeah, yeah. It was just a blowout, 126 to 102. One note that I have to bring this up. Draymond Green got dunked on by Chet, I think it was, and anytime I can just dog on Draymond Green, I'm going to. So I really got a lot of enjoyment. I also love watching Draymond just kind of crash out a little bit. He got a technical, of course, and My theory is he would have probably been ejected from the game if he would have played the whole second half. So, um,
Yeah, he's just such a child. He's such a like once there's not an opportunity to win, once there's not like an easy path to win, yeah, like you're saying, he just wants to crash out and just starts throwing a fit. And you just see it in so many different games.
yeah, yeah. And I saw last night, I just have to throw this in there too, since we have Draymond. There was this Wimby like alley-oop from out of bounds, and it was like on Draymond's head, and I was like, yes.
I
Golden
saw that
State did,
highlight.
yeah. So that made me think of Chet too. The Wimby dunk on him was better for sure, but
Mhm.
anytime that Draymond gets dunked on is a good day.
I
Um,
saw that highlight and I went running to the other room. I said, I've got some anti-Draymond Green propaganda for you.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Well, I do want to transition to the next game, because different team, same story. The Thunder demolished the Lakers 121 to 92. Let me know what you thought of that game.
Yeah, it kind of the same thing. Like, so not even a coming back from illness or injury kind of thing. And both
Yep.
Luka and Austin Reeves had pretty pedestrian games. Like
Yeah.
we're just still able to control these guys. I mean, these people that typically you say like, hey, like they're gonna get theirs. Like let's just try and shut everybody else down. We're not even letting those guys get theirs anymore. Like
No, we're not.
in these
We're
games right
not.
here, right? Like and maybe different matchups are gonna happen differently. I was afraid because I was seeing like a fair amount of Case and Wallace on Luca, and I was like, I don't know if he's big enough, but it
Same.
worked. I mean, Case and Wallace is doing work out there. He's that dog in him.
He's got that dog. And yeah, I did a video specifically about Casey Wallace. Check it out. It's really good. Um, and yeah, like I talked about, and I've talked about it on Twitter, like everyone kind of knows the difference between Kaysen and Dort. Dort really matches up really good against those bigger offensive guys like a Luka or James Harden, that are a little bigger and slower, but Dort is just so strong. And Kaysen really matches up really great against smaller guards, like a Steph. But so, needless to say, I was a little worried about that too. Like, is Luka gonna kind of bully ball him a little bit? But there was none of that going on against Casey Wallace in that defense. I Luka was 7 of 20, so he shot 20 times and he had 19 points.
Yeah.
Not efficient.
He's putting up
Hey,
Westbrook numbers there, baby.
my MVP would never do that. That's all I know. Like I keep seeing like this Luka Shea like comparisons. Has Shea like ever done that in the last like 3 years? I don't, not that I
Uh,
remember.
he's not
So
scored under 20 for how many games now? I mean, that's the
I
big
think
record we got going on right
what
now.
what we at 84, 85, like it's just insane.
Yeah,
Absolutely insane.
yeah.
Um yeah, and there was even like just as a whole, oh, speaking of Shea, another third quarter not played. So that's 7 of 13 fourth quarters that Shea has not played in. So that's awesome and kind of wild too. Uh and then there was an 8 minute period where the Lakers just did not score a field goal, which is kind of wild to think about. Was there anything else that, like, any thoughts or anything else that stood out to you?
Just kind of in general with these last two games, like the narrative around the Thunder right now and how like
Yes.
dominant people are talking about the Thunder. It like makes me really happy to hear because they're like comparing them to the 90s Bulls with Jordan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is crazy. It's happy to hear, but it's so kind of nerve-wracking too because you get your expectations and your hopes that high. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna be the 90s Bulls. Like like that's never gonna happen, surely. But like to even be in the same stratosphere as a team like that is such a weird thing to hear people who like are the nationwide kind of people talking about the Thunder like that is so cool to hear.
hmm Yeah. And I mean, great transition because, you know, the Thunder did have kind of a cushioned schedule. They were playing a lot of really bad teams. We played the Rockets the first game of the season. But outside of that, it felt like we really had some like Washington Wizard games and just kind of some bottom feeder teams. But we made two pretty decent teams, and I think the Lakers are going to be a top 4 or 5 seed probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
like what they were saying is the Lakers are trying to be a team that they were looking at this game as like, where are we at? Like, are we really going to be able to compete? Like, and
yeah,
the funniest thing I saw, a comment on the internet was like the Thunder or the Lakers saw this as a real kind of, where are we at kind of game, and for the
yeah.
Thunder, it was just a Wednesday.
It was,
We're just
dude,
wiping the floor with these guys.
that's so great. And it really felt like that. It just kind of plug and play. Like Isaiah Joe had 21 points off the
Yeah,
bench. Just
he's been great.
everyone was yeah, he's been great. Everyone it was just seamless, really. The only other thing that I was do want to get off my chest, it did feel like though in the first quarter, tell me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times Shea does kind of fill out a first quarter, and he felt ultra aggressive to me in that first quarter, and it kind of did feel like a little bit like I'm going to show the world that I'm Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and that I'm a top two player, and there really is nobody else. I don't think that I think it's Luka and Shea, in my honest opinion, of like who you could go back and forth on who the best player is. And it felt like there's a little bit of a statement that was that he tried to make. Um, Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it did feel like he was a little more aggressive scoring wise in that first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, head to head with Luca, that's his opportunity to do something. And yeah, it seems like he's like, all right, I'm going to show this clown what's up, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But
And
because,
and
yeah,
I mean he
like you're
did.
saying, so yeah, so much of the time he's feeling the game out or like trying to get other people involved because he's talked about like getting other players ready for the playoffs. And so much of the
Yeah.
time it seems like he's doing that and being a good leader in that way. But yeah, it's
Hmm.
fun to see him just say, hey, like I'm the second coming of Jordan and I'm going to dominate this game for a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm all for it. Like every now and then you gotta like as a superstar, I'm like, just just go do your thing. Like go prove a
Yeah.
point. Let the like remind the world. Um, like when he went for 55 earlier this year, like
Oh, yeah.
there definitely is that, we talk about that dog in him. There's that dog in Shay too. That kind of
Oh, yeah.
every now and then he's feeling it, and I think it's good even if he's forcing it a little bit like he did in the playoffs sometimes. Like I think I told my wife when we were watching the game, I said I'd rather have a little bit of that than like any kind of like being timid or anything or being scared of the moment or anything like that. I think you have to have um a little bit of ego as a superstar, kind of like the Kobe's, kind of like the Jordans. I think Shea is much better with his teammates than those two guys were, but you got to have a little bit of that when push comes to shove.
Yeah. Yeah. Having
So,
the aggression and just being able to make buckets sometimes. I mean, that's
yeah,
sometimes it just has to happen when you're the dude. So
yeah, yeah. Well, so let me give you a couple of things to think about. So the Thunder are by far the number one defense by a massive margin. I think the defensive rating is they're like a +6 on the next highest team, which like in NBA terms is like crazy. Yet again, another historical defensive season. And they have a 14.7 point differential, meaning that they are beating every single team by a positive 15 points. That is ridiculous. What are
I
your,
like I
what are
like
your, yeah,
the point differential. I like thinking about this too because we do get to the fourth quarter and we start playing our bench guys. So like
yes.
it's funny like how much the further away you get from zero, like I forget what term I'm looking for, but it's not linear, right? Like the further
Oh,
away you
yeah,
get actual, the bigger the gap is because we could just be if we wanted to, we'd have like a 20-point differential or something right there.
absolutely. Yeah. And like, the thing about this team is it's like we are so obviously not trying to run up scores. We are just dominating. Like, Mark Daigneault has been playing Usman Jang like every single game. And I'm like, he's a big zero on offense. And I get it. We have to play him just so we can get through the season, give guys rest, especially when there are so many injuries. But we are clearly like when we play our third string for an entire fourth quarter, we are obviously not trying to run up the score. And you were so right. That differential could be a +20 pretty easily, which is just insane. Um, what to you? for the Thunder has been the biggest talking point? You can say a couple. Your favorite thing about this team. It might be a player or just the team in general.
Well, I'm really happy that Isaiah Joe's having a good season so far. He was somebody who I felt like we kind of missed out on like the best of his abilities during the playoffs and still
Hmm.
won. And so to get
Yeah,
him back and shooting the three well and you know, trying his hardest on defense. He's not just some drill cone on defense at least.
yeah,
Uh, and just how much the offense seems to flow better this year.
hmm,
I
yeah,
feel like there were long stretches, definitely in the playoffs, right? The offense got kind of stagnant and hard to watch, quite frankly, at times, and very frustrating.
for
And
sure.
there were stretches in the regular season too where it got like that, and it's just not really felt like that at all this year.
Hmm.
We've had like a flowing offense that's been awesome. We've got, like you were saying, the best defense in the league by a ton. I love seeing whenever they have like all the individual defensive, like team defensive stats on a broadcast, and it's
Yeah.
like Thunder first, second, first, like just dominating every category. And it feels like something that shouldn't be possible, but
Yeah.
especially like without Lou Dort, without J Dub, like two big time defensive guys, and we're still doing
With
this
without Wiggins, like Wiggins can go for
without Wiggins.
20 like in a heartbeat any given
Hmm.
night. I mean, not averaging, but yeah, that's such a great point. And I do, it's our defense is so good that we kind of have this baseline of even if we can't shoot a three, like we're going to be competing and probably winning most games. But when Isaiah Joe is getting shots up and obviously making them, the key to me is like he makes them all the time. It's like getting them up. I think he struggled in the playoffs just because defenses, they really lock in. But boy, when he is getting the shots up, like teams don't have a chance. Like every time he has a great game, it's like, oh, great. Now we have perimeter offense to go with Shai and this incredible historic defense. It's just like teams really don't have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. The thinking that I've had on so many of these games is like, if we just shoot good, if we shoot like normal good, this is a blowout.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
we shoot like Isaiah Joe shooting a bunch of his threes and getting those in, like crazy blowout. And if we don't
Yeah.
shoot good, then our defense is going to keep it close and we go to double overtime and we win the game.
And we're going to pull it
That's how
out
it's gone
because
so
we
far.
have, yeah, yeah. And we're going to pull it out because we have an MVP named Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and he's just going to be the best player on the court, and he's going to beat your best player. Um,
Yep.
well, okay, I love that. I love Isaiah Joe. I'm going to take the other low-hanging fruit because I can't go on any of my shows or whatever you want to call these. Um, my videos without talking about AJ Mitchell. So the we do need outside shooting for sure. So Wiggins and Joe have addressed that, but we do need like off the bench a guy that can really get to the rim and attack the rim, put pressure on the rim. And we got that too. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches, but what AJ Mitchell has been able to do this year as a he's still almost a rookie when you look at actual games played.
Hmm.
Um, I've just been, and every Thunder fan has been, but I've been so impressed with just how relentless he has been, like attacking the rim. And then if he gets an open three, he can hit those too. What have you thought about AJ Mitchell?
It's so funny. It's another one of these like the Thunder did it again kind of guys. Like this the second round pick and he's just
Yeah.
producing. He he's for whatever reason it makes me think of old Teo Maladon and how we're like, oh, this guy's gonna be so solid for us and
Oh
like
yeah.
just help the offense keep going, whatever. And it's and AJ Mitchell has been like what we hoped that Maladon would be, like plus two times two. He's just been so great.
Dude, that goes back. Dude, I remember this is just a side story. I think I had some debate on how I thought Maladon would someday be like a six man of the year type of guy, and boy was I wrong. Like, didn't he have a really good rookie year or like at least decent? And we're like, oh, this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Like this is a
think
dude.
The difference is Teo is doing that on a terrible team, and AJ is producing on a team that like that's what makes it super impressive. He can do this stuff whether he's on the like with the second group, he still attacks even when Shai is playing with him. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, this guy is for real. I'm sure his production will go down a little bit just when Jalen Williams, a walking 25 points a game comes back to our
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
Oh, so I'm sure his, points per game will go down a little bit, but maybe that just means he'll get to play the entire fourth quarter and maybe it won't affect his stats. Who knows? So, well, that's yeah, I feel good about that. I do want to ask you this. So, do you think the Thunder are going to win more than 65 games? And if you do, what number would you pick?
ooh, yes, they're going to win more than
Okay.
65. How many did we win last year? What was that number?
68.
We won 68. I
Yep.
I I gotta it's deep in my jellies. I can feel we're gonna win at least 70 games this year.
I think it's going to happen too. The Warriors record is 73, so 73 and 9. 74 and 8 just sounds stupid.
It's
So I'm
crazy.
not like 8 losses an entire season. I I don't think that's going to happen. For a couple of reasons. Just because, Shea and the starters, they may rotate the last 10 games where they don't have to play because I don't think there's going to be a team in the East or the West. And I could be wrong, but I don't think there's going to be a team in the East or West that's even close to what the Thunder are going to do. And then just in general, that's not generally the Thunder's MO, like pushing for records. But I think we're going to walk into 70 wins. So, like,
Yeah.
if we get close and we're getting closer, like who knows? Maybe the pressure and that just gives the guys like another challenge. Um, I'm excited to see, it's so early on, like who knows what'll happen, but we'll for sure win more than 65 games.
Yeah, and like you're saying, whenever you get to the end of the year and like we're gonna have a big lead, probably. The only hope is, yeah, we've got somebody else who's kind of close, probably in the East. Although I don't know, the East kind of feels like nobody's gonna get anywhere near that kind of record. It's too
Yeah.
too crazy over there. But yeah, to keep the home court advantage because I'm a big believer now in the home court advantage after last year's playoffs as well, and making sure that we
Yes.
do have a better record than anybody in the East
Hmm.
to make sure that we've got that advantage. But yeah, I just feel like we're going to get to the end of the season. We're going to have the cushion and we're going to let Brooksy get some developmental minutes in
Oh
the end
yeah.
of the season here.
Oh yeah.
Topic maybe if he comes back. Do we have any timeline? Do you know Topic return?
I don't know. They said he's going through chemo and all of that.
Yeah.
And so I
Okay.
think they just kind of said, we're thinking about him and he's going through this, he's still practicing. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
shocked if he's back in like February or something, or maybe January. I don't know. I read a thing where a previous NBA player had the same testicular cancer and
Uh-huh.
they were back within like 80 days or something.
Okay,
So
good.
I do think he'll be back in the season.
Yeah, fingers
Yeah.
crossed for that. That'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Enough about that. Let's get to the main thing. So, we did this segment last time, but we didn't have a name for it. And the name now is Max's Pet Peeves. So, Max, let us have it. What is the one thing that you want to talk about, your pet peeve, that just everyone needs to know about?
Chat talk about nobody's talking about the things that I'm talking about. I just need everybody
I,
to realize this.
that is
These,
so
the,
true. That is so true.
why why are NBA players losing their shoes so often? Okay, I can kind of understand getting your shoes stepped on and you come out, but a lot of these are just I'm making a move and I slip out of my shoes. Okay, all right. Maybe we can make an argument that these guys are they're so big, they generate so much force that they're just coming out of their shoes. I'm not superhuman like they are. I've never lost a shoe while I was playing tennis or basketball. Okay. Lace those things up. Whenever they lose their shoe, sometimes they'll toss it to the side and then pay attention, everybody at home. Watch this. Whenever they get their shoe back, they just slip it back on. They don't got to tie it, it's loose. They're not tying their shoes tight enough. And why are you not giving every little thing that you can to win these games and play at your best? Right? There's this book called Winning Ugly by Brad Gilbert. It's mostly a tennis book, but he talks so much about like all the little preparation that you can do. Like, don't let poor preparation be an excuse for you not performing at your best. And so it drives me crazy when I see players lose their shoe and this just slip it back on. Like, I don't know. These
Dude,
guys, they're they've got to have blisters, right? If you're wearing your shoe,
for sure.
and I'm sure it's not. They're getting these shoes like custom made for them, right? They fit their foot exactly. Lace them up, keep them on your feet. Like it
Double
just
knot
seems
that
like
crap.
such a
You know what I'm saying?
double knot it. Double knot it. You got another pair if you need it. I'm sure people are going to hook you up. We can get you new laces if you need it. Double knot your shoe, tie it tight, get that feel for the court. And I've seen specifically like this year, I've seen Shea do it, and I don't understand it quite frankly because Shea is somebody who I fully believe is like giving everything to be as good as he can be, and he's talked about like maximizing his level and figuring out how good of a basketball player he can be. Tie your shoes, Shea. I'm looking at you.
Call him out. Call out. Dude, I never thought a second about this as deeply as you have. But the point that I've got to give you is the putback. When they put that thing on and just slide it on, you are 100% correct. You never see them just like really tugging on the shoelaces, as tight as that thing can get. And they're not double knotting. They're just pulling it on there and going. Like
Yeah.
for an old guy like me, that is probably a twisted ankle just waiting to happen. So there's definitely some responsibility here as a player to, tighten those shoelaces. I am with you 100%. Um, on your last Max's pet peeves, I wasn't there, but I can get behind lacing the shoes tight and not messing around with that.
It's simple. I mean, shoes that
So
I've
simple.
got my casual shoes, my kicking it shoes, right? You
Yep.
tie them up loose, and still, even those, like I can't, I gotta kind of like jam my foot in there to get into those, and those are ones that I want to just be able to slip into. And you're telling me these NBA players can just slide on their shoe? Give me a break.
Dude, I think this is such an
Oh,
important thing
my
to be talked about.
my dog is getting upset that I'm upset.
Your dog, Nova should be getting upset. Sorry if I gave the whole world your dog's
Oh,
name.
oh, he
Yeah.
inherits the Nova
Nova should be
dog.
getting upset. I think NBA teams should hire you for this very specific rant. That way, I mean, I can't even imagine how many injuries you would save if and I would charge a crap ton of money too for these NBA teams. So, hey, this is something to
No
think about.
expert. I'm no expert, but we've got an Achilles problem in the NBA, and these dudes ain't tying their shoes.
Oh man, can you imagine? Can you imagine if you single-handedly like cut down Achilles hairs by like 50% because of this? Woo! All right. I love that. All right, okay. We are running out of time, but I do want to ask you real quick, what is your favorite like one or two like league-wide stories so far in this early NBA season?
I absolutely love the Nico Harrison story. The
Oh yeah.
crowd can chant fire Nico just for, I mean, they're not even just doing it at basketball games. It looks like they're doing it in the street. They're doing it at hockey games and
Yes.
stuff, I'm pretty sure. And it worked. And and it's a combination of everybody being angry at him and him doing a terrible job because that's what it seems to take to get like millionaires fired these days. But it
Yeah.
happened. Everybody chanted him out. There's a video of him, the crowd was chanting Fire Nico, and it like zoomed in on him, and all the crowd around him were just kind of like awkwardly looking away and like trying to
Yeah,
not
yeah.
laugh and things
I'm
like
not
that.
associated with this guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, yeah. This isn't my dude. So Fire Nico was hilarious, and then the
Yes.
combination of like finding out that he was the dude that caused. Steph Curry to sign with Under Armour instead of Nike. Like, how good of a story is that?
That
How
is, dude, it's salt in the
too
wound, and it's
monumental.
so beautiful. Yes. And
It's
dude,
poetic, and it's almost like you wouldn't believe it if it was made up, but here we are in the
yeah,
real
for
world,
real.
and it happened.
Yeah, and like you said, it's real like that was a boneheaded move, obviously. I think 98% of the 99% of the population agree with that. Trading a top five player in the NBA, like you just never do that
And
unless
it really
they are
seemed to
causing
just
a
be like
problem.
a, yeah, it just seemed to be a personal issue. That it's like, well, so I think we've talked about this a little bit, right? There's two explanations that he was the conspiracy explanation of he was promised the number one pick if he traded him to the Lakers. And
Yeah, I
then
buy into that
it,
maybe.
it- and then the other one where he's just like personally didn't like Luka.
Yeah.
And either one of those are so stupid.
Yeah. And I do like the overarching theme that you're kind of talking about of like power to the people, power to the fans. I kind of hate it when people like, as fans, we say us or our team, and people are like, you're not on the team, bro. Like that kind of is a pet peeve to me because it's like, sure, we're not playing, but like we are paying for those guys to be able to play. And it is like a city experience, a state experience, and to see the fans just say, no, screw you, we're never coming back to this loser who traded Luka because he didn't like him. Like, I just love the story of the Maps fans just kind of sticking together, and it was the right call. Now, I still ownership, they signed off on it. They're still, that's not going to change. But at least they got rid of Nico, and I'm happy. I truly am happy, even for Dallas fans who are annoying on Twitter. But I am happy for them because no one deserves that, even Mavericks fans.
It was
So
wild. Yeah, we
yeah.
actually had some sympathy for Dallas Mavericks fans for a little bit there.
Yeah, for sure. Now it's over. It's done. It's done. So, all right. Well, that's all I've got for today. So, with that, I'm going to get off here before I sign off, Max. What would you like to say about social media?
Limit your social media, get off of it entirely if possible. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Let's go. All right. This is Nathan and Max, and this is Thunder Up Talk, and we will talk to you later. Bye.